Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the PivotBoss pre-market video for Friday, January 6th, 2023. I am Frank Ochoa, aka PivotBoss. Happy Friday, everyone. Real quickly, before we get to the charts, I do want to invite you to join me to the PivotBoss Monthly Market Outlook next Tuesday, January 10th, 2023. This is going to begin at 4 p.m. Central, and you will have the Zoom link that will be posted for that session later on. Please join me. We will be looking at candidates for the first part of the year, and in addition to Q1 in general, we'll give a framework for how we see the market right now and what to look for and the types of opportunities that we'll be looking for in Q1. So please join me there. Additionally, we'll also take your requests on any chart you'd like us to take a look at. So please join me Tuesday, January 10th at 4 p.m. Central for our first PivotBoss Monthly Market Outlook of the year. All right, taking a look here at the ES. One thing you'll notice is the compression we've seen over the last 14 sessions now developing, and it just finished the 13th session yesterday. This has basically traded around the FOMC from November 2nd. This is a very, very narrow range that is going on 3 weeks now of compression and is building quite a bit of energy for the next potential expansion phase. If we do get expansion at some point here, it could trigger a move that is somewhere north of 350 to 400 points of range over the next 2 to 3 weeks. That's enough energy to get you, for example, right to the previous year's low price of 35.02. So we could be looking at weakness right into that zone up ahead if we can get a good breakout move soon. Until then, we could be trading back and forth within the range until we do see that expansion phase. Next week we do have some data points coming out, including inflation data. Today we got NFP report prior to the RTH Open, which gave us this initial top here. Previous week and previous year's close here so far has been an opportunity for bears to defend, and that's been the case here today. So again, still inside the range, still building out in this range, building energy for a potential 350 to 400 point move up ahead. But until we get that breakout, further range bound action could be seen. If we take a look here at the NQ right now bouncing a bit of a failed low, developing here against the previous session's low. This is a test at the bottom of the 9-day developing trading range. It finished 8 days yesterday within this range. It's now a 9-day developing range. If we drop this down to 8 days, which it completed, we can also do 9, which is developing. But the 8-day completed range right now shows the potential for 1,000 points of range at the very least, and that could be very easy given the low volatility that we've seen lately. This thing is capable of going much more, including up to about 1,500 points of range. So we could be looking at somewhere between 1,000 to 1,250 points of range on a breakout move ahead. This failed new low could get us back up the range as well until we do get a good breakout ahead. So keep an eye on the previous session's midpoint here. If price can continue to hold that zone, we have a shot to make it back toward the previous session's high. Taking a look now at crude oil. Crude oil right now within a relatively narrow range over the last 2 sessions here. Previous session, very narrow range, a hard 2-day drop, and then you have your extreme reversal pattern developing here. Now price is holding within that 2-day range. If price can start getting back above 75, we could see a bounce back up 77s, maybe back toward 80 as it stays within this range. But keep an eye on 75s here. Any failure at 75 could extend this thing to the downside, as the primary trend remains to the downside right now, and this market could be looking to test the previous month and previous year's low at 70.08 up ahead. Looking at gold futures, gold right now up about 0.8%. One thing we mentioned yesterday was how hard of a pullback this was, but this market has been pulling back after up moves, and then it seems to bounce right back. It's kind of how this market has been, back and forth, over and over again. Yesterday a big pullback day, but held the previous year's close, held the 8-period average, and maintained strength within that bullish Pima trigger zone. Now a bounce back day and a fade after trend day, a good move back up. This market remains directionally bullish right now. It has pushed beyond the previous year's close and has held that level upon a retest. All of this suggests continuation up, but it's not a straight line. This one is about as zigzaggedy as it gets in an uptrend, but today bullish bias at the moment with a likely continuation toward 1880 and beyond. Taking a look lastly at the YM. The YM right now showing quite a bit of strength here after the NFP report, pushing through the NFP report pivot high. This one also has a developing 14-day, a finished 13-day narrow range here. So if we bring this back up to 13 days here, again, that's on a finished basis, but we have 13 here. The 14th day here, rather. This right now showing the potential for over 2,000 points of range. 2,000 to about 2,600 points of range right now is the easy bet here upon a breakout from this multi-week range. And whenever we see the confirmed breakout from one side or the other in terms of direction, we could be looking at a big time move in that direction. So again, if this thing's going to drop from 33 or through 33K here, it opens up a good move that could easily get you back toward 31, maybe even as low as 30,500. Likewise, if this thing starts to break somewhere north of 33,750, you're looking at a move that takes you to the edge up here toward 35 and 35.5. So again, we could be looking at quite the move to begin the year once we get that breakout. Until then, we're still in the range. And while this is a strong pre-market reaction right now to the NFP data, we're still inside the range until we see a breakout move. But very good early directional conviction here. If we start to see this thing top out in a 60-minute time frame, look for potential extreme reversals back within the range. All right, that is it for now. We'll see how this plays out heading into the rest of the session. Again, please join me Tuesday, January 10th, for our first monthly market outlook of the year. And again, everyone have a fantastic Friday, and I'll see you in the trading room. Take care.